Please sit towards the front edge of the chair with your sitting bones firmly seated on the seat and the spine rising naturally towards the sky. We'll begin by lifting the heel of one foot and rotating through the ankle. Another option is to take the leg on top of the opposite thigh, grasp the toes of the foot with one hand, and circle the ankle in this way. Let the movement, whichever version you're choosing, be slow and relaxed, within a comfortable range of movement, so not going all the way or anywhere near the full extent of your range of movement, but working within about 50 to 80%. Let's change the direction of the circles. The reason for the 50 to 80% range of movement is to allow your body to relax more and more deeply, which will invite your joints to relax and open more easily. And the synovial fluid that bathes your joints and lubricates them will be released. And let's replace the foot on the earth, taking a moment to feel any differences between the 2 feet, 2 sides of the body, the way the feet are contacting the floor, noticing whether the practice is already having an effect. And then when you're ready, lifting the heel of the opposite foot to circle the ankle here, or if you prefer, taking the foot on the opposite thigh, grasping the toes again, and circling in this way. And my intention with this Qigong break is to provide you with a practice that you can fit into just a few minutes to bring some health and wellness to your joints, or you can take longer and explore some of the principles and inquiries that I will offer throughout. One of the ways that you can vary the time for your practice is with the number of repetitions. So if you only have a couple of minutes, you might do just 2-3 circles at each of the major joints, and we will go through all the major joints of the body. And let's change the direction of our circles here. If you'd like to go deeper, you can increase the number of repetitions and engage with some of the inquiries that I will offer. But either way, working in a relaxed, unhurried way. So even if you're only going to circle a joint once, circle it with full awareness and in an unhurried, unstriving way. And that will serve you much better than 10 repetitions of a movement performed while you're thinking about what you're going to do next and hurrying through the practice. Begin to tune into your breath, listening to how you breathe in, how you breathe out, how the breath and the movement are dancing together or not. And then replacing the foot on the earth again, taking a moment to notice how the 2 feet feel, how the ankles feel. Maybe starting to feel more aliveness in the feet, the ankles, maybe even up the legs. Or maybe not. Whatever you sense and feel is correct for you right now. And then clasping the hands behind one thigh, leaning back to bring the leg up. We're going to circle through the knee joint next. Bringing some hydration and relaxation to the knees now. Continue to listen to the breath, noticing if there's a natural point at which you feel inclined to breathe in and a natural point at which you feel inclined to breathe out. In your own time, changing directions of the circles. Also noticing if there are parts of your body that are working harder than any other parts. In Qigong, everything works together, and we aim to have no part of the body working harder than another part. So the qi, the energy, is distributed and engaged evenly throughout the body. So if you feel any tension growing in your hands, your arms here, you might be curious about where you can shift, what you can release, how you can use the leaning back, your body weight or the floor to release excess effort. And let's release this leg down. Come back, clasp the hands behind the opposite leg. Once more, use this leaning back movement to lift the leg up and circle through the knee. Noticing all parts of you. So even the jaw and the muscles around the eyes. Could they relax a little bit more? And let's change the directions of the circles. Also listening to any differences as we go through the body between the left and right side. Knowing that that's perfectly normal and natural to be asymmetrical that way. And replacing the leg, leaning forward, releasing the hands, resting the arms either on the thighs or by the sides of the body, returning to this neutral posture to observe the effects of the practice. These moments are just as important as the movement themselves. And then we're going to come to the pelvis, so you can take the hands to the hips or you can let them rest in either position. I'm going to circle the pelvis over the hip bones over the sitting bones. Prioritizing your comfort, staying within a range of movement that is comfortable for you. So sensations are not too intense, and certainly there is no pain. And if the sensations become more intense, how can you offer yourself care? How can you adjust so that you can move back into the comfortable range of movement where the body is able to relax deeper? And let's change the directions here. Listening to the places where the movement is feeling smooth. Listening to the places where the movement might be a little bit more jagged or stop and go. If you do find those places, you could explore slowing down even more, giving the body a chance to really let go of the muscles that don't need to work, and to rewire the nervous system to allow comfortable and easeful movement. That happens by slowing down. Maybe if you find that place also, you might go back and forth a little bit, forward and back, exploring this area where there might not be as much of a smooth flow before returning to the circling motion. Remembering that I'm offering you a lot of explorations, and you can choose what you wish to explore today, depending on how much time you have. And then as you get to know the sequence and the practice, you can explore it on your own, with varying from just a few minutes to a longer practice. And then coming back to the center, releasing the arms, taking that moment to notice what is changing in the body, maybe something changing in the mind or the heart or the breath. And we'll move up to the shoulder joint. So here we will take a circle with the arm around the shoulder. Remembering commitment to stay within 50 to 80% of your range of movement. Your range of movement is different from anyone else's, different from mine, different from your neighbor and your friend. And especially with the shoulders, there's this tendency to overreach. So can you maintain the head of the upper arm bone, the humerus, firmly seated in the shoulder joint as you do the circles? Let's change the direction of the circles now. For me, you might bring your hand, like I'm doing, on the opposite shoulder to encourage the head of the arm bone to sit firmly within the joint. And for me, I know that when I'm somewhere, I'm reaching for something on the top shelf and it's just a little bit out of reach. Sometimes I'm in a hurry, and instead of getting the stepping stool, I might just try to reach with the arm as much as I can, as if removing the arm from my shoulder joint fully. So here the invitation is to do the opposite. To commit to taking the time to lubricate the joints, to bring health and well-being to them, to not use them beyond their range of movement. And giving them time to heal from those times when maybe they were overused. And releasing the arm back to your legs or the sides of the body. Taking a moment to notice the difference between left and right sides. And then coming to the opposite shoulder again. If you like, you can take the opposite hand to that shoulder to encourage the head of the arm bone to remain firmly seated within the shoulder joint. Noticing where you breathe in, where you breathe out. And noticing how even though we are working with the arm and the shoulder, is there a way that you can bring in the rest of your body? Maybe the ribs and the spine can help in some way. Maybe the pelvis and the sitting bones can offer something. Maybe the feet and the earth herself can help you in some way with this movement. In your own time, changing directions here. Noticing if there's a way that maybe the weight shifts as you circle the arm, that the weight shifts between the left and the right foot or left and the right sitting bone. And if you can invite the energy of the earth to help you in some way, particularly as the arm comes up. So when we open the joints of the body, we allow for energy to flow more smoothly through the whole body. Earth energy can flow up and help us rise where we need to. And sky energy can flow down like a waterfall through the body to the earth, helping us sink down to the earth and root. And releasing this rotation from your body, coming back and noticing the sensations. Where are they the strongest? And then taking the arms to the sides, we're going to circle through the elbows now. Be sure to check in with your breath again. Invite it to relax. And check in with the whole body. How is it participating in the movement? Let's change the direction of these circles. And releasing, feeling sensations, physical, energetic. And then clasping the hands together. I'm going to circle through the wrists here. You can explore bringing the elbows together if this is available to you, noticing how that feels in your wrists, elbows, the whole arms, the shoulders, maybe even the shoulder blades. Or you can let the elbows separate a little bit and noticing what changes in the wrists, elbows, and shoulder blades. Let's change the direction here. Listening again for any places where the movement's really smooth, and letting that inform any places where the movement isn't flowing as smoothly. Releasing the arms down, taking a breath to notice. Come to the head, so letting the chin drop to the chest, and then the nose looks up towards the sky. And continuing chin to chest, nose to the sky. Particularly inviting a slow experience here and commitment to staying within that comfortable range of movement, 50 to 80% of your maximum. There are lots of little bones and joints that are working here in the neck, and lots of little muscles that can get quite tight. So slowing down, relaxing, letting the movement be relaxing for you, so that those muscles that maybe are quite tight have a chance to release. And having gotten a break, they can then engage and work better and healthier when needed. Coming back to center, we're going to let one ear fall towards one shoulder, and then the opposite ear relax towards the other shoulder. Let the breath continue to be your ally on this journey of relaxation, noticing where you breathe in, where you breathe out. Noticing any parts of your body that are holding tension that don't need to be. I just noticed some tension in my inner thigh. It doesn't need to work. And if your neck is comfortable with it, you might explore some rotations. If this is not comfortable for you, you can continue just tilting the head forward and back and side to side. And let's change the direction. If you're rotating the head, also noticing how far through yourself you feel the movement again. Maybe something's happening at the shoulder blades. How far down the spine can you feel it? Could be all the way to your tailbone. And something could be happening between your feet and the earth. How can your feet help with this movement? And when you are ready, returning back to the center, to our neutral posture, Pausing for a couple of breaths, having gone through all the major joints of the body. We're going to take one more movement here. Lifting the arms to the side, palms face the sky. Invite the little finger to take an extra peek at the sky. You might start to feel a little bit of tension in the arms, not too much. And we're just going to turn around the central axis, rotating around the central axis, turning left and right. Freeing the joint spaces around the spine. If you're practicing on a stool that doesn't have a back or a chair that doesn't have a back, an option here is to take what's known as constant bear, allowing the arms to wrap around the body. You can do this even if you're on a chair with a seat, just being careful with your back arm. Or you can just use your front arm. Now, taking a version of the movement that you find most relaxing for you, most supportive. And this movement engages all the joints of the body, all the joints that we have gone through. So can you feel the joints in the pelvis, the knees, the ankles, the feet, all the little bones in your toes, and then your shoulders, your elbows, your wrists, and all the little bones and joints in your fingers. Breathing space and health and vitality into those spaces. A place where the spine, all the vertebrae of the spine, and where the spine engages with the skull. And then all the bones of the skull, which is made of several bones. Maybe there's even some movement that can be felt there. And when you've explored this enough, allowing this rotational movement to find its natural close, coming back to neutral posture, hands resting on the legs or by the side. Taking a few breaths here and noticing how you feel. Sensations in the body, sensations of energy, your breath, quality of your mind and heart.